Welcome to our first BreakOut the block. How many know that? Something you gotta take it. I said if you want something, you have to take it. We want justice. We want equality. We want the right to walk down the street and not die. Somebody shout amen. Today we got some powerful speakers here. Oh, let me hear y'all here. Come on, open your mouth. Let me hear you. Come on and clap for your community. Yeah. That's it. Come on. Come on, real big. Come on. Come on. No music. Let me hear you. Come on, come on. Yeah. Real big, let me hear you. Yeah. Now put your hands together like you're crazy. If you community, yes, Doc. What is this all about? Protesting, I believe in marching. I also believe in activation. And so we put some people together and I asked them to come out to really communicate with you, educate you on what's going on in your community, how you can get involved and what needs to happen next. Change doesn't happen if we march and we go home. Change happens when we infiltrate every part of our community and make our voice known. Change happens when you take your seat at the table. Change happens when you stand up for what's right. Change happens when you don't tolerate whatever politician decide to give you. Change happens when you stand up and say enough is enough. Change happens today. So I've asked some speakers to come out. The very first speaker I have to come out is a powerful man right here in the East Cleveland community. Our very own Judge Dawson. I said, if we're going to hear a voice, we're going to talk about justice, we got to hear from a judge we can trust, a judge who has a heart in this community, and a judge who has a passion for his people. So would you put your hands together for East Cleveland's Judge Dawson?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to speak briefly. We have some powerful speakers coming, but I just want to speak from the perspective of where I am as a judge in this wonderful city. And that actually extends beyond because everybody comes through East Cleveland. So I'm really encouraged by what's happening not only here, but around the world to see what's happening as far as our community and our love and our seeking of change together. And that's so very important. And it shows that out of tragedy, there can be hope. And right now, I'm looking at hope right in front of me. We're looking at it across this country and around the world. And I want to speak strategically because keep in mind, there's so many different levels to change. This is important. We have to get out. We have to protest. We have to make sure our voices are heard. And then the next level is we have to sit at the table and actually demand strategic change. We have to get with the NAACP with Ms. Sidnor. We have to get with Council Jackson, who's around here somewhere, an attorney who's fighting for our community. We have to actually sit at the table and make the demands on how change is going to occur. we have to figure out exactly what needs to be done in the police departments across this country so that we don't have this same injustice. And there are steps that we have to take. So we have to now move to that next level. So I encourage us all to stay passionate, to stay involved, to stay woke, but at the same time, let's now manage our emotions and start talking strategically how we're going to get change to occur. And, you know, one other thing I want to mention, I had a conversation just briefly with the head of the NAACP. We have to stay involved. This is a good step because now our emotions are high, but we can't let them go down. So when you get that letter in the mail from the court asking you to serve on the jury or to do jury duty, you have to stay involved in. Because think about it. There has been an actual charge, right? But what's the next step? You go to court, and then there's a trial. And who sits there? It's a jury. And if you're not heard on that jury, if you're not involved in that process, then there's an acquittal, and then there's right back in the same cycle. So there are levels to change, and we can't just disengage at this point. It's now go time on every single level. So get involved with the NAACP. Make sure you're voting. Elect black officials, black, brown, all colors, and most importantly, officials who have a heart like you do. It doesn't matter if they're white. It doesn't matter what color they are if they are concerned about our community and our needs. So vote, register to vote. Don't sleep on jury duty. We need you. It depresses me when I have a trial and I have people on juries coming up with crazy excuses why they don't want to be there. And I know it takes time, it takes effort, but that's where we need you the most. So please don't tell me I can't sit on a jury because my foot hurts. Or don't tell me I can't sit on a jury because I got something else to do. That's where we really, really need you. And that's me speaking as a judge. So other than that, stay encouraged, stay powerful, stay engaged, and stay blessed. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Judge Dawson. Listen, you got to get up for a judge that looks like you, that represents you. There's not that many in this country that have your heart. When he talks about jury duty, I scroll through Facebook all the time and I see people avoiding serving. There's nothing scary as a black man and walking into court and looking at a jury and nobody looks like you. We can do something about that right now, especially if you're registered to vote. I said especially if you're registered to vote. We got a man in the White House, and right now, I don't know about you, but I really would like to help him buy some luggage. Yes. I think his days are numbered. I think the community is finally fed up, and some of his own folks are now in the closet wondering what they did wrong. Change is coming from the top down. From the White House to your courthouse to your city hall, you got to vote. So there are several people I want to introduce you to today, and I see Mickey from Little Africa as well in a partnership with us. Where's Elder Shirley at as well, right in front, and Constance? I want them to come and share just for a second because we've got several things that we want to do while we're out here. And so real briefly, they're going to come. I see Constance, she's coming too. They've got some information they want to share. We've also got some free face masks. And so I'm going to have all of them come together to kind of share with you what's happening in their community. And then right after that, I believe we've got our NAACP president who's going to charge us. We've got a responsibility to do the work today. Amen? Amen. Y'all ready?
Register to vote. Yes. If you haven't registered, please register to vote. There's a table at the end that you can register to vote. But this is the main thing, if you want to vote by mail. Now, Pastor said something about the little crazy person in the White House. He is trying to stop us from voting, period. We're going to put that and nip it in the bud. Get an application to vote by mail. Not only that, he's trying to establish our mail system. You know why? Because if we vote by mail and there's nobody to deliver the mail, the votes to press. So it's so much work that we have to do, and we have to take advantage of it now. We got a packet of information with a free washable mask. Please get those. The virus hasn't gone yet. The only saving grace we have now, we outside. But we have to be concerned about the virus, the president, the marches. It's a whole lot of things. But you know, at the same time, We cannot be silenced. We cannot sit down anymore. This is a new day. You see things are happening. This is a movement, and we have to be part of it. I know there's a lot of people that's in the community who feel that they can't do nothing. That's the lie. I see people walking around with their heads down. But lift up that head, stand up down the way, so we're going to call you. We're tired of people taking advantage of stuff, but not helping. No, it's no time for that anymore. We got to take action, and we got to take it now. So get your information. We have some great speakers, and I can talk forever. But the main thing is, I want you guys to be engaged. Take on some kind of responsibility. Sure, you're at home. But look on Facebook, there's plenty that we can do. And I will call you. If your name on that sheet, you will get a call from me. Because we have to be active. We have to work now. And here's Mickey from Little Africa. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. As you know, my name is Mickey Smith. I'm the Vice President of Little Africa Food Cooperative. And we take ownership of feeding ourselves. And what we have done is we have connected and collaborated with the Parliament Church to make sure that you eat safely. We give you hot meals. We make sure that you got hygiene. We deliver. We are here to show you that in order for us to be here, we got to do it together. We're not here standing in a silo. We're standing together. And we want each and every one of you to know that without you, we would not be here. So today, who's next, Queen? Next? All right. So I want to just say this. I'm not one to be up here and speak. I'm just one to do the work, Pastor. Pastor, you know, I'm out there, I'm doing the work. So we have a whole lot going on. We have various communities. This is just one of 7 communities that we're feeding right now. We're thankful. We're thankful for Empowerment Church. We're thankful for the Hope Dealers. I'm thankful for Sister Shirley for always representing for East Cleveland. You guys have passion. I want you to continue with the passion, continue with the movement. But most of all, I want you to make sure that you love on each other. Love on the community. Don't stop. Don't stop loving on each other because without you, we would not be here. Thank you. You know when you're wrong, and that's okay. I'm actually very honored to have this opportunity to speak to everybody. Some people know me. I work in community work here in Cleveland. I can't really stress a lot of things that Barbara has said. I'm excited about the food collaborative. I'm excited about the idea of helping people where they live in their real lives every day. And I am excited about truly demonstrating the love of Christ by meeting people where they live. I think that's amazing. Voter registration is important. We saw this past week, our state legislature is starting to nip away at an early voting day. One of the cool things about working with Ms. Shirley and her team is that she's going to deliver those applications and registration forms so there is no mess. Take advantage of the gift God's given you. Work that woman, because I know for a fact she worked for you. The only other thing I want to say is fill out your census. Complete your census. Complete your census. We all drive cars and we all take our life in our hands when we do. But there is work that could be done that could be done, but they claim we're not here. Right? They won't give us our money to take care of our neighborhood until we go fill out the form and say, yes, I'm here, and then in November, vote and say, yes, I need it. So God bless you all. Keep up the good work and let you feel love on each other.
Those ladies just preached. Listen, there's several things that they said. Right now, many of your folks who represent you want you to think that you're invisible. And it's easy to stay that way if you don't do that census. That census directly controls how much dollars get back into your community. So if you want to know why you drive to Beechwood and then you drive here and it looks completely different, it's because funds are being funneled outside of your community. We go to work every day. We are killing ourselves to pay our bills, and then that money is going other places. You need to fill out your census so that they know you exist. We're not just on this corner to protest. It's to shout that we are here and we're not going anywhere. You need to be counted. So you must vote and you must fill out the census. I know I told you that Daniel Sidnor is coming in just a second. I want to make sure that we have one other guest who needs to get to another event, and that is Greg Bell from the Salvation Army. So I'm going to have him come now and show you what's going on. This man is East Cleveland. Yeah. I tell him he is the mayor of East Cleveland, and we need to know he does so much. Come here, Shirley, so you can tell. I'm going to have Shirley introduce this man properly. And then I'm going to give him the mic. He big, ain't he? So I don't play. I take him everywhere I go.
Okay, I know I'm going to embarrass him, but that's okay. That's how we roll now. A couple years ago, me and this person, we weren't seeing eye to eye at all. We fought at every level. But you know what? After a certain election, we found out that we had so much more in common. Number one, I love East Cleveland. And that's what brings us all now together. Greg is, he's going to make me cry. Greg does so much in East Cleveland, and people really don't know. He has many organizations. He's at the Salvation Army, where we're trying to get people to go because of the resources that they have there. We don't have a lot in East Cleveland as far as where people can go. Even if people are homeless, there's a place for them to shower. That they can use the phone and the internet and computers for free. They offer so much, and I'm just so glad that they're with us. Greg Bell.
Man, she's making me cry. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to introduce myself. As they said, my name is Greg Bell. I'm the rec coordinator for the Salvation Army East Cleveland. I'm also the coalition coordinator for our East Cleveland Bridges of Hope Drug-Free Coalition, one of 5,000 coalitions in the country right here in East Cleveland. In the state of Ohio, we're one of 3 black coalitions, drug-free coalitions in the state of Ohio. We're the full-time black coalition in the state of Ohio. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on what's going on in East Cleveland with community partners, empowerment. When you empower yourself, make yourself look like you're happy, you're reaching out, you're connecting with other folks, and that's important. That's so important. Even if they want to argue with you, you still got to reach out. Even if they turn their back on you, you still got to reach out. Even if they're sick, we got to reach out. Even if they're happy, we got to reach out. It just needs. And that's why I love working for the Salvation Army of Cleveland. Mondays through Friday, 9 to 11, our food pantry is open. So come on down, bring your information, and get registered so you can get your grub on. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 12:30 to 1:30. We're serving hot meals again, all 3 days. Carry out. And on behalf of everybody in the Salvation Army, including our luscious pastors, everybody, want to say we're reaching out. We're here for you all. Come to the Salvation Army. If you have not been to the Salvation Army, put your hands up. If you have not, just stop by and say hi as we continue. Our rec center, our day camp and child care is starting this Monday. Fitness and recreation, we're not open yet, so kind of keep your eyes and ears open. We will let you know. I know Miss Shirley will let you know. So, again, I'm excited. Tough act to follow behind the judge, but Shaw alumni, Shaw for life, EC for life. Love my city. I love my city, and it's done wonderful things for me, as she said. So I want to say God bless everybody, and everybody got that Facebook Live. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Come on. Get out and vote. It's important. If you ain't supporting East Cleveland, come on down and connect and support East Cleveland. Don't listen to what people tell you. Don't let that fool you. There's good things going on in East Cleveland. We got a lot of resources in East Cleveland. Connect to them. And lastly, love all y'all. Love all y'all. God bless. And thank you, Pastor. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Love everybody. Thanks, Miss Shirley.
Give it up for Greg Bell. Listen, if you're wondering, like, why do I have all of these folks from these organizations talking, it's because they need volunteers. Everybody look at me real quick. Every time you turn on the news and you see a young person unarmed going to the store and they're shot, they're getting thrown up against a car by an officer, those are in our communities. They're going places like the Salvation Army to get mentorship, to help get things with their schoolwork, to get protection, to have a meal. We recently lost a child who was on her way to a holiday giveaway, and a car chase took her out on Euclid Avenue. There's so much pain that comes through this city, but there's so much hope because the people here are willing to serve each other. Look at me as a pastor. I would be wrong if I told you that holding a sign and shouting was enough. It isn't. These youth need your face. They need your participation. They need your time and your talents. I don't know if you know this, but one of the newest Salvation Army buildings is right here in East Cleveland on Hayden Avenue. One of the newest in the country. It has a youth center. It's got a computer lab. It's got a gym. It's got showers, workout rooms. You can literally go in there from off the community, grab a shopping cart, and you can go shopping through there. But they also need people that are willing to stock those shelves, willing to spend time with those young people, willing to help spend time with their seniors, willing to show folks how to write a resume. Those people are you. Those people are you. When our youth walk into their libraries and they walk into their schools and they walk into the Salvation Army, they need to look back at faces like yours. Faces who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. People who are willing to go out into the community and reach out to a child that is not theirs so that they don't end up dead on the sidewalk. We need you to serve. We need you to volunteer. We need you to get angry enough to get active. That is the goal of this today. The goal is to connect you with ways that you can come down in this city. Do you realize how many people have told me over the years, I would have been and participated in your church and helped you serve if you would just move it out of East Cleveland? That is the exact attitude that is causing this city to be the way it is. If you are down here right now, it's because you were bold enough to step out in East Cleveland and say, I got to stand for something. I can't just sit around and let them demolish my communities and kill my babies. I need you. Greg Bell needs you. Daniel Sindo needs you. We need you to serve. We need you to vote. We need you to be informed. We need you to stay educated. One of the things that I said this morning I want to make clear is we're not just dying in the streets. They're taking our black girls across state lines, dragging them into sex trafficking. There are so many ways you can get involved in your community to help save a black life. But before we're concerned about what's happening across the country, we've got to be concerned about what's going on in our block. So blacking out our block is all about making sure that you know that we need you in this city. We feed hundreds of people a month at this church alone. If you can't do nothing but make a sandwich, you might do. Amen. This is the season when everybody has to do something. If you got a car, you can drive somebody to the polls. If you got a phone, you can call somebody to make sure they're registered to vote. You can make sure that you're putting pressure on your city council and pressure on your mayors to make sure we're creating laws that don't lock you up but save your life. Legislation has killed just as many black folks as cops. Did you hear what I just said? It is a way they have kept us locked up. They have kept us out of representation. They have demolished our communities. It is time that we start putting laws in place that protect and don't kill. You have an opportunity to shift that. So we've got several more speakers coming. At this time, I want to welcome the female president of the NAACP, class of 2000, Cleveland Heights High School graduate, my girl Daniel Sindo. Would you give it up?
I'm trying to. I'm gonna do wave. I want to get something around the shop. You know, I got some protection. All people in here. But we all won, right? We're not repping colors and cities today because it's all of us. Yeah. But you know what? I wanted to say thank you to Pastor Anthony and to the church for inviting us in to worship today with you in a new format, in a different way. But this is still worship in my opinion, right? Because we're coming together and we're standing in solidarity and we're making sure that we communicate a message. So very briefly, I do want to share a few things with you. The previous speakers have taken everything I was going to say, because if you've heard anything I've said in the last few days, it is about voting and it's about the census. But I want to give us a couple of words of encouragement to just kind of tie all that together. When I thought about blacking out the block, there was a song that came to mind for me, and I want to read the lyrics to you. To be young, gifted, and black. Oh, what a lovely, precious dream. To be young, gifted, and black. Open your heart to what I mean. In a world, you know, there are a billion boys and girls who are young, gifted, and black. And that's a fact. Young, gifted, and black. We must begin to tell our young there's a world waiting for you. This is a quest that just began. When you feel really low, yeah, that's a great truth you should know. When you're young, gifted, and black, your soul's intact. Young, gifted, and black. How I long to know the truth. There are times when I look back at my youth and I'm haunted. Oh, but my joy of today is that we can all be proud to say, to be young, gifted, and black is where it's at. If there was ever a time to be proud to be black, I can't think of a time in history for us in our lifetime to be more proud. We have more allies standing with us that for the first time are really understanding the tragedies that we go through, the trauma we go through on a daily basis just for being black. Not because we've done something wrong, just because our very existence is a threat to people. But I think, as some of us have already talked about today, the power is in unifying across races, across faith, across sex and gender and sexual orientation. But it's also on us being able as a community to say, I'm no longer going to buy into the narrative that there's something wrong with my blackness. I can be proud to be black, and I can still love everybody else at the same time. So in the city of Cleveland, they just passed legislation to declare racism as a public health crisis. And why is that so important? People ask, like, oh, it's just going to be lip service, it's just words. But you cannot solve a problem if you don't name it. If I have cancer and you tell me I got high blood pressure, I'm likely going to die because you're not treating me appropriately, right? So by declaring racism as a public health crisis, we now have more authority to hold our elected officials accountable to say, you named this thing, so now you got to work to fix it. I know that Cuyahoga County Council is looking to do the same. The state legislature is looking to do the same. So now we will be able to say to folks, you cannot use the excuse of ignorance anymore. You can't say you didn't know because you went on record and you declared this as a public health crisis. So when our black babies are dying, you have to point back and say it's because of racism. When folks are disproportionately dying because of COVID-19, you have to say it's because of racism. When kids are not getting quality education, you have to say it's because of racism. When we can't get dollars for our businesses, you have to say it's because of racism. So I need the community to understand this legislation so that way we can hold people accountable. That's an important part of this activation work. And I'm proud to have a judge that's willing to come stand with us and tell folks, if we want to make permanent the protests that we're having in the streets, we got to activate ourselves at the polls. So we have to be registered to vote. We have to vote in every election. Every election. Every election. Because you know what? There are a lot of folks that turned out and voted for President Obama. Then they did not come back out and vote for congressional seats. And then we allowed the state legislature to gerrymander us, which is a fancy word for saying they drew a map so creative that none of us can understand it, to make sure our voices weren't heard. Right? And so that legislation, we're still trying to undo. And could you imagine if at every city council meeting, 100 of y'all showed up? In East Cleveland, in Cleveland Heights, wherever that is. Could you imagine if we could organize ourselves to get down to the State House in Columbus when things are happening, and they know that Cleveland is paying attention? So our way of activating, yes, is the protest. Yes, it's the march. But we all individually have one vote, and we got to use it in every election. The final thing that I'll leave you with is we have a mantra with the NAACP that we really know that if you look back in history, we have not accomplished anything as black people unless we fought for it. They didn't give us our freedom for free.
right? We marched and we fought, and not only did we fight, but when some of the Union Army, when black men in the North joined the Union Army, that is when we saw real progress in the fight for freedom. Okay? When we talk about Jim Crow laws, it was when we got and took the streets and across the streets and said, we're not going home until you treat us right. So we're only going to get access to freedom when we fight for it. So I'm going to say, when we fight, you say we win. Okay? When we fight,
we win.
When we fight,
we win.
When we fight,
we win.
So what you're going to do is complete your senses. You're going to vote, and that's how you fight, because I know we're going to win. Thank you.
Wave your hand at me if you're registered to vote, so we know exactly who to come after in 2 seconds. Listen, we still got some powerful packed people that are here. I just heard that something hit the ground because Councilwoman Davita Russell from Cleveland Heights, newly elected, only black woman on Cleveland Heights City Council. Right there is also walked in the building, and Tristan Belize, she'll be speaking as well. I'm going to have Shirley come and introduce our next speaker, yes, who's talking about a really, really sensitive issue. And I don't want anyone to tune this out. If you thought I was going to bring you out here and not bring up sex trafficking at all, you were crazy. How many know our daughters are becoming missing on just a huge... How many of them, if you scroll through Facebook, how many are just tired of seeing pictures of missing black girls? Missing babies just all over. And so we got to have a conversation about this, because many of us are doing more to find out black girls than law enforcement is. It's not an emergency until someone that doesn't look like us comes up missing, and then it hits CNN. It's got to be some big scandal first, and so we've got to do something about this, and so we wanted to bring you some information as well.
It's me again. You know what? I think last year one of the pastors had put on Facebook that they wanted the church to spend at least 10 minutes on human trafficking. And what's amazing is a lot of people really don't know what that means. When I'm at the Salvation Army trying to give out information, they have the wrong clue about what that's about. But it's such a serious, serious problem. So many young girls and men, they're missing, and due to sex trafficking. I don't want to steal his thunder, but we just partnership with an awesome young man, Curtis Free. He has a great organization, but his main focus is sex trafficking, human trafficking. We got to get information about it. In the package that I gave that you should be getting with the free mask, he has some information on tips that parents should be aware of as far as sex trafficking and your child potentially being geared to that, and tips for kids to understand what sex trafficking means. So it gives me pleasure right now to introduce Curtis Free.
Hello, everybody. Hello. My name is Curtis Free, and I am the director of Strong Hands United, and we're an organization that focuses on two components. One is human trafficking, the other one is children with incarcerated parents. This is kind of emotional for me because I got it. My first exposure to human trafficking was about 30 years ago, right there in that building. Burn that building. No, that building right there, the burn that building that's decapitated right now. It was about 3 in the morning. I was in there. I'm an ex-felon, and I used to be in the streets and stuff. So I was in that building about 3 in the morning, and it was the guys from Detroit who was in there going to buy some drugs, and they had someone in the bathroom. They kept running in and out the bathroom, in and out the bathroom. I said, what time that going on? And he's like, you got a girl in there. You want something, whatever? So, oh, my God. So I went in that bathroom, and it was a child. She must have been about 14 years old. And she was crying to me. She couldn't speak, but she was crying to me with her eyes to help me. And I'm looking at her, and tears start rolling down. I'm like, wow. There's nothing I could do because it's a bunch of gangsters with guns and stuff. So I left and that haunted me. That haunted me for years until I was in the position to build Strong Hands United and do something about it. I can't save her, but I can save ones just like her. You know, and now I'm a member of the Cuyahoga County Human Trafficking Collaborative. It's made up of about maybe 50 organizations. And we focus on sex trade. It's three components to trafficking. You got the labor trafficking, you got the sex trafficking, and one that's really not talked about a lot is organ harvest. You know, a lot of things they do, these kids are disappearing, and Ohio is fourth in the nation with human trafficking. And one of the reasons why is because of the water. And people don't understand why you say the water. It's because we're so close to Canada. You can drive to Canada. Canada, you have to have a passport, get in. I think you got a passport. But now you can go down to Lake Erie, get on a boat, go to Canada, totally undetected, and land on a private dock. So what they're doing, they're kidnapping our children, taking them over to Canada, securing them in a warehouse, matching their organs to the black market, and killing them, selling organs all over the world. You know, and this has got to stop. In Cuyahoga County, the three hot spots for trafficking is the Clark area, Detroit, and East Cleveland. You know, and I would proudly say that I'm partnering up with the East Cleveland Board of Education, and this fall we're going to start introducing educational programs for human trafficking for children. Please, BreakOut, support us. You know, I got some safety tips. You gotta build a relationship. And one thing I always say, it takes a village. You know, because I'm in this, I live here, and that's not my child. She's my child because she's in the village. She belongs to me. You know, that might not be my wife, but she's in the village. She belongs to me. You know, so we gotta stick together. So, let me speak. Please get a relationship with your child. Know where they're going. I'm a single parent, and I had my son just turned 19. I had him since he was 9. Do not assume anything is okay. And some people automatically go to red alert. Set a protocol with your children. If that protocol is broken, don't assume it's all right. Look for your child. Get that relationship. And have that open communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Listen, we've got information. We've got tons of information in our packets as well and on our tables. And as you can see, we are still feeding and taking care of folks. Home dealers, give it up as we continue to impact our community. Shout out to our volunteers who are down there feeding folks. If you want to know how you can serve, they're down here each and every week. We're also kicking off our summer meal program for breakfast and lunch here in the building. So if you're looking for a way to serve, you can come right down here and see our babies each and every week. You don't have to be a member to do that as well. All right, listen, really quickly, there's a couple things that we want to do. I want to bring Miss Councilwoman DeVita Russell just a second to talk about the difference from a city point of view. She's been pushing this hard in Cleveland Heights, and I want you to hear her voice about how important it is to fill that out. How you doing? I'm doing good over here.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm over here. I mean, you over here.
On top of that, she's from the Northern community. So she knows exactly what we're experiencing and what we need. And so I want her to come out, number one, so you can see her face, number one. Number two, we need more like her. That doesn't happen if you don't run and if we don't vote. We need representation, but I wanted to make sure that you heard it from one of your own, how important it is that you fill this out and you don't just ignore this information. So would you do me a favor and put your hands together for Councilwoman DeVita Russell from the city of Cleveland Heights, newly elected, breaking records, just had a town hall yesterday shaking stuff up in the city. And so we are so pumped. And she's union. Yeah.
Woo! Good afternoon. Come on, y'all. It's a rally. Good afternoon. All right, we ain't playing. We ain't come here just to visit. We here to protest. We gotta have our voices heard. All right, now, you know how important the 2020 census is. Do you know? Yeah. No, you don't. Do you know? Yeah. No, you don't. Do you know how important the 2020 census is to us? No, you don't. Do your kids go to school? Do you need money for schools? Census money. Do you wonder why there's in the classroom versus 10? That's because you're not filling out the census. The census determines the classroom size in our community. Do you know about health care? Somebody got diabetes out here? You know, it's supposed to be running through our population rampantly. Do you need health care facilities in your community? Census. These streets right here that need to be paved, and these buildings that need to be condemned, where all the money come from? The census. The census. You have to be able to articulate the census to your everyday life. It only happens every 10 years. And if we don't fill it out in our communities, you are left out. And we have been left out too long. You think the government is checking on you? They already know who you are. You think the government is trying to track you down? Don't be fooled. They can track you down in a heartbeat. It is not about tracking you down or knowing who you are or where your brothers and sisters is, because they already know. Already know. What this is about is change for our community. You know what else the census do? It actually changes the dynamic and the structure of your voting records, because it adds representation to your area. We lost legislative representation because we didn't fill out the census 10 years ago. Now, do you want more? You need to fill out that census. You need to fill out that census. You need economic development in your community. It's the census. But you know what? We all talk a good game. But if we don't pull up them phones, we don't get on those computers, if we don't dial it in, if we don't mail it in, nothing will happen. We'll be stuck in the same place we are today, nowhere, trying to get somewhere. This is not about what your neighbor can do. This is about what you can do. Turn to the person to the right of you and say, we can do this together. I can't hear you. Turn to the person on the right of you and say, we can do this together. Turn to the person on the left of you and say, we can do this together.
We can do this together.
Turn to yourself and say, I can do this with you.
I can do this with you.
Now, what are we? We are a community of family, of love, and prosperity. And if we don't get it for ourselves, ain't nobody going to give it to you. So you need to stop always just protesting. You need to bring protesting with action, with advocacy. Anthony needs your help down right here in his church. You need to be here. He's giving food. He's giving away everything he can to help this community. Why aren't you here? Just like Anthony told you, I am an African-American woman on city council, the only woman. When you look it up, I'm the only person of color that looks like it. But guess what? When we have public meetings in Cleveland Heights for the public to come in, I do not see a brown face. I don't see a brown face. I've been there 6 months, and I can count the time I've seen one brown face at a public hearing. And a public hearing is it's about public comment. It's about coming to your council in a public comment forum to say what is going on in your community. In Cleveland Heights, it is 47,000 of us. Do you think I can keep track of 47,000 people by myself? No. Do you think 7 people on the council can keep track of what's going on in your community by themselves? No. That's what you're for. That's what you're for. You're there to tell us what's going on in our community. You're there to come and give a constructive point of view of what's going on in your community. It's not all about anger. It's about making solutions for the future. I had a town hall meeting, the very first one, called You Talk, I Listen. Community driven, community focused. Community driven, community focused. Community driven, community focused. Out of that town hall meeting, 3 task forces was created. That people volunteered their time to create, because I can't push it. It's about the community pushing it with council. It's about a teamwork. Because one thing I'm not going to be as a city council person, I'm not going to be sitting on the sidelines or in that chair and you pointing your fingers at me. What you doing, sister? Why you up there? What you doing, sister? Because next thing I'm going to say is, what do you do? What have you done? Where have I seen you? You ain't up here. You ain't in the room. If you ain't in the room, you ain't got no seat. If you ain't in the room, you ain't got no voice. You don't fill out them tickets, you ain't got no funds. Let's stop pretending ourselves. We can no longer wait on the sidelines. We can no longer not be in the room. We can no longer not have a seat at the table. We must now be in the room. The nation is protesting for you to have a seat at the table. The nation is protesting for you to have a voice. The nation is protesting. But the next step is on us, because when this is all over with, what's going to happen tomorrow? Are you going to go back to your same old routine? Or are you going to change? Are you going to go back to your same routine tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week? Are you going back to your same routine? Change comes with activism. Change comes with voice. Change comes with a seat at the table. And if you're not ready to change, then don't look for any solutions. If you're not ready to change, do not look for any solutions. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and if you don't keep on squeaking, you're not going to get any oil. So, brothers and sisters, I leave you with this. Everybody you know, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandkids, your nieces, your godchildren, your pretend friends, your pretend relatives, whoever they may be that you know. I don't care if it's 5 of y'all in the household, 10 of y'all in the household. Please fill out that census and get counted. Please fill out that census and get counted. Right now, that's what we should be advocating. That's what should be on our mouths right now. Make sure you fill out that census. That's all the community should be talking about. When you see somebody, did you fill out your census? Yep. 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 Did y'all fill out your census? I don't hear you. Did y'all fill out your census? Did y'all down here fill out your census? All right? So that means everybody here filled out that census. You have an obligation to make sure somebody else fill it out too. That's your obligation. That's your task. That's your action to make sure someone else fills out that census. The next thing you have to do, you got to vote. You got to vote. Voting change legislation and people in those seats. If you want representation, you better vote for them like you want it. If you want change, you better vote for it like you want change. You can no longer sit back and say, I ain't doing nothing, my vote don't count. You can keep on sitting back and say your vote don't count. And when you can't walk out your door with freedom, you'll understand your vote did count. Your vote would have counted. Because believe me, this is designed. This is a plan. This is a plan that nobody here know about. It is a plan to suppress all Americans. Not just black people, all Americans. And you have to be hip to the plan. You have to be studious about it. So I need you all to vote like your lives depend on it. And I need you to fill out them census like your lives depend and Mr. Pat Anthony, inviting me to speak at his event. Thank you all so much.
I'm going to call her Reverend Councilwoman from now on. Listen, give it up. I want to say this while she's here, because for many of you who are wondering, I brought up where she lives in her community, because as a planning commissioner in Cleveland Heights, I can tell you, if you drive through Cleveland Heights, development gets better as you keep driving and the houses get bigger. She is giving us a seat at the table to remind them that we exist in our area, in our community. Imagine how many representatives we don't have across this city in our communities that can't speak up like she is at City Hall. That's the reason that you can see over by Coventry, you can see out in Beechwood, that you can see all that's paved and they going through all that new construction. And we've been waiting forever and a day in these Cleveland and Noble Road area to get any kind of development. We've been shouting from the rooftops. Your vote matters because it gets more DeVitas at the table so that she can shout. But that's not good enough. It isn't just her. When she shows up to make decisions, if people like you, who aren't like you, aren't there, and they're shouting from the rooftops, who do you think they're going to listen to? Who do you think's going to get the yes? We have to be there to tell them no. We won't step in our community. No. We want development in our community. No. You need to pave our streets. She said it right earlier. You can lose your life driving down Terrace right now. It's a sin before God the way some of our streets look. You can literally put that man through. And then you get out Beechwood and looks completely different. Change happens with you. Change happens when we do what is necessary to make that happen. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. We got too much peace in our community with all this lack of justice. Too many of your politicians are sleeping too good at night for you to be catching hell. Too many people that you elected are at rest when our dead babies are all across this country. Something's wrong when they're sleeping good and you praying over your own children. Something has to shift. And it starts with you, and it starts today. So here's what we're going to do. We've activated you. We've brought some speakers out. We've got a couple of more guests, but I'm going to have them come and do a song real quick before we start to close things out. And I'm going to bring a couple of people back to you to show you what our next steps are across this city. I want to thank every speaker who's come out today, who's impacted us, who's activated us today. We've got tons of information down here. I need you to find a way to serve, to volunteer, to get involved. And it's so important that we don't shrink back now, but we do what's necessary to bring about change. So in just a couple of moments, I'll be back. We're going to close out everything in just a second, all right? By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Here we go. The song simply says this. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. I got my feet up, come on. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. First voice, let me hear you say it, come on. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Yeah, yeah, by the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Come on, no voice, let's take it to the next part. Said I'm walking in victory, 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 walking in joy back, joy back. I'm walking in victory, 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 walking in. I got my peace back, my peace back. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Anybody got the victory? I've been set free, Lord, and I've been complete. Now I'm walking in victory. walking in victory, walking in victory, walking in victory, walking in victory, walking in victory. I got my strength back. Said I'm walking in victory, 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 walking in I'm walking in victory, walking in victory, walking in victory, walking in victory, walking in victory. I got my peace back, my peace back. Walking in victory, walking in victory. Walking in victory, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now Now I'm walking in victory. Yeah, by the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free. Healed to live by faith. Now I'm walking in victory. Come on, by the hands. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free. Healed to live by faith. Now I'm walking in victory. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free. Healed and I've made the way. Now I'm walking in victory. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free. Healed and I've made the way. Now I'm walking in victory. Where are my victorious people at? Are you yelling at me? Yes, God. Somebody shout, I got it. I've been set free, healed, and I make a way. Now I'm walking in victory. 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 Yeah. You gotta claim it before you get it. You gotta claim it before you get it. One of the things I decided is I would not walk for another. I would not march and protest for another dead black man or black woman until I see some change. I'm tired of it. I'm numb to it. I want permanent change. Deacon Macy, come here for a second. He's going to read us a short poem, and I'm going to do something real quick right after that. This feels good. Hope dealers, make some noise if you're dealing hope in your community. Come on, hope dealers, make some noise. If there's still hope in East Cleveland, there's no hope in Cleveland. If there's no hope in this country. Yes. So Basie's going to come. He's going to read something. I'm going to come right back. We've got some resources here, and we want to make sure that we connect you. We want to make sure we close out the right way. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.